Caitlin, this game had a little bit of everything. So much offense, little separation, coming down to literally the final seconds. How'd this team do it?
Didn't execute offensively during that last minute, but made plays when we needed to. This team always puts up a lot of points on us, but I'm glad we got the win. They're really good offensively. Yeah, I thought we could have executed a little bit better there at the end. Like, we got that 8-point lead, and then I had a few turnovers that can't happen. And I felt like I played a good game. My shot felt well. I thought we could have moved the ball a little bit better.
Okay, real talk. Why are some WNBA players so threatened by Caitlin Clark? From taunting on the court to trash talk off it, the drama is real. But is this actually good for the league? Let's break it down. And before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video. You know what's crazy? Since Clark joined the league, WNBA games are blowing up. We're talking packed arenas and TV ratings through the roof. It's like everyone suddenly remembered women's basketball exists, and they can't get enough. But here's where it gets wild. Picture this. Clark's breaking the season's assist record, right? You'd think everyone would be cheering. Nope. Instead, she gets hit with boos. Can you believe it? It's like some people can't handle her shine. So what's the deal? Why are some players and fans so worked up? And get this, all this drama might actually be the best thing to happen to the WNBA. Stick around, because we're about to dive into why Clark's haters are dead wrong. Remember when rookies were supposed to know their place? Clark didn't get that memo. She's got vets fuming, fans divided, and the whole league buzzing. But here's the real shocker. All this drama, it might be exactly what women's basketball needed. Let's talk about the storm Caitlin Clark's stirring up in the WNBA. It's not just about her game-changing plays on the court. Nah, it's way bigger than that. We're seeing some of the biggest names in women's basketball losing their cool over this rookie. Can you believe it? Check this out. One WNBA legend, we won't name names, but rhymes with barrel loops, straight up said Clark's style wouldn't last in the league. She even refused to say Clark's name when talking about other players. That's cold, right? But it doesn't stop there. Remember that wild moment when Angel Reese taunted Clark on the court? People went crazy, calling it unsportsmanlike. But you know what? It just shows how much Clark's presence is getting under people's skin. Now, you'd think all this hate would get to Clark, right? Wrong. This girl's turning all that negativity into rocket fuel. Listen to what she said. I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball that you never would think would be talking about women's basketball. That's some next level thinking right there. But here's where it gets really interesting. All this drama, it's actually changing the game. Clark's not just taking the hits, she's hitting back with her performances. Every time she steps on the court, it's like a big in your face to all the doubters. Some folks are getting pretty uncomfortable with all the attention Clark's getting. One commentator even complained that other players deserve just as much recognition. But here's the thing, Clark's not just good, she's drawing crowds like nobody's business. She's redefining what's possible in women's basketball, and that's making some of the established players nervous. You want to know the craziest part? All this backlash is actually proof of how much impact Clark's having. She's not just breaking records, she's breaking the whole darn mold of what a WNBA rookie should be. So next time you hear someone hating on Caitlin Clark, remember this. That criticism, it's not just noise. It's the sound of the WNBA changing. Clark's not just playing basketball, she's changing the entire landscape of women's sports. And yeah, change is uncomfortable, but it's also exactly what the league needed. Turns out all that change comes with a pretty hefty price tag, but here's the kicker. It's not just Clark cashing in. Her success is like a tidal wave, lifting all boats in the WNBA harbor. How high? You might want to sit down for this. Let's talk numbers, and I'm not just talking about points on the scoreboard. Caitlin Clark just landed $28 million in endorsement deals. That's not a typo, $28 million. For a rookie, that's never happened before in the WNBA. It's like Clark just rewrote the playbook on what a first-year player can earn. But Clark's not the only one seeing dollar signs. The entire league is feeling the Clark effect. You know how many people watched the WNBA draft this year? Over 2.4 million. That's insane. It's like suddenly everyone remembered women's basketball exists and they can't get enough. And get this, The Indiana Fever, they used to struggle to fill seats. We're talking about 1-800 fans on average. Now, they're packing in 17,000 people per game. That's almost 10 times more. All because of one player. Clark's not just a baller, she's a one-woman economic stimulus package for the WNBA. But here's where it gets really interesting. Clark's not just changing the game on the court, she's changing the whole conversation about women's sports. Young girls are watching her and thinking, hey, I could do that too. She's inspiring a whole new generation of female athletes. You know what's even crazier? Clark's success is smashing stereotypes left and right. People who used to say women's sports weren't exciting, they're eating their words now. Clark's showing everyone that women's basketball can be just as thrilling, just as skillful, and just as worthy of attention as the men's game. And it's not just about Clark. Her success is creating opportunities for everyone in the league. More fans mean more money, more sponsorships, more coverage. It's like Clark opened the door, and now the whole WNBA is rushing through. Think about it. When was the last time you heard people arguing about women's basketball the way they argue about the NBA? Clark's made the WNBA a topic of conversation in places it never was before. She's not just a player, she's a movement. Clark's making waves, but she's not the only one riding them. The entire WNBA is catching fire. How? It's not just about one player anymore. It's about a whole new aura of women's basketball unfolding before our eyes. You know what's wild? All this drama around Caitlin Clark isn't just noise. It's the sound of the WNBA leveling up. We're talking about a league transformation that's bigger than any single player, even one as impressive as Clark. Let's break it down. Remember when women's basketball was kind of, well, forgotten? Not anymore. Clark's arrival has sparked rivalries and storylines that are making the WNBA must-see TV. It's like someone flipped a switch and suddenly everyone's talking about women's. But here's the real kicker. Clark's not just dominating the game, she's pushing everyone else to step up their game too. It's like she walked into the league and said, all right, who's ready to play? And you know what? The other players are answering that challenge. Imagine this, you're a WNBA vet, and this rookie comes in breaking records left and right. What do? You work harder, you play smarter, you fight to show why you're still a star in this league. That's exactly what's happening. Clark's raising the bar and everyone else is jumping higher to reach. But it's not just about what's happening on the court. All those packed arenas and sky-high TV ratings. They're changing the game off the court too. More fans mean more money. More money means better facilities, bigger contracts, and more resources for every single player in the league. Think about it. When was the last time you saw women's basketball getting this much attention? It's not just sports channels talking about the WNBA now. It's everyone. Clark's success is like a spotlight, and it's illuminating the whole league. And you know who's really winning? The fans. Because all this competition, all this drama, all these storylines, they're making the WNBA more exciting than ever. It's not just about watching great athletes anymore. It's about following rivalries, debating who's the GOAT, and getting caught up in the drama of it all. Sound familiar? Yeah, it's starting to look a lot like the NBA. But here's what's really crazy. This isn't just a flash in the pan. Clark's impact is inspiring a whole new generation of players. Little girls watching her play aren't just dreaming of being in the WNBA anymore. They're dreaming of changing the game like Clark is. And let's talk about those skeptics who used to dismiss women's basketball. You know, the ones who said it wasn't exciting enough or the level of play wasn't high enough. They're running out of excuses. Clark and the rising tide of talent in the WNBA are shutting down those arguments one spectacular play at a time. But maybe the biggest change is this. The WNBA isn't a niche sport anymore. It's stepping into the spotlight, demanding attention, and proving it deserves to be there. And it's not just about Clark. She might be the face of this change, but every player in the league is part of it. So next time you hear someone say Clark's success is bad for the league, just laugh. Because the truth is, she's not just changing the game, she's changing the whole darn landscape of women's sports. And everyone in the WNBA is along for the ride. And here's the thing about Caitlin Clark's critics, they're totally missing the point. She's not just racking up stats or breaking records. Clark's changing the entire game of women's basketball. She's inspiring a whole new generation of girls to pick up a basketball and dream big. But it's not just about Clark. Her success is lifting the entire WNBA. More fans, more money, more attention. It's all good for the league. And you know what? That's exactly what women's sports needed. So next time you hear someone hating on Clark, remember this. Supporting her means supporting the whole WNBA. It's not just about one player. It's about the future of women's basketball. The real question isn't whether Caitlin Clark is good for the WNBA, it's whether we're ready for how great women's basketball can be.